The stories keep coming in of UMSL students, faculty, and staff, all figuring out how to do what they do virtually. When the COVID-19 pandemic forced almost everything to shut down, UMSL shifted into gear. Or rather, UMSL shifted gears. No one was unaffected, least of all UMSL nursing students. During the pandemic, nursing students completing their required clinical hours were facing a new challenge. Hospitals and clinics limited the number of visitors, effectively narrowing clinical training opportunities. UMSL nursing faculty started thinking about how their students could gain experience virtually anywhere. Among many inventive programs, UMSL nursing students began working in partnership with Next Generation Logistics to screen the health of Amazon delivery drivers, educating them on symptoms of the pandemic and best practices to keep themselves and those around them healthy and safe. This pivot to an alternative workplace and opportunity to earn critical skills and hours towards graduation meant they could stay on track to join the workforce in a field where they are critically in demand. Faculty weren't the only ones looking out for UMSL students. One of UMSL's valued community partners is Burns & McDonnell, a full-service engineering, architecture, construction, environmental, and consulting solutions firm. For the past few years, they've hired summer interns.
However, the COVID-19 pandemic brought on many challenges. After deciding that the internship program must continue, we faced the huge dilemma of determining how to provide a meaningful job experience that encompasses the Burns & Mac culture virtually. Relationships are the foundation that makes Burns & Mac successful. So that is what we built the virtual program around.
Thanks to everyone going out of their way to make meaningful mentorship and internship possibilities for UMSL students. They say to every cloud, there's a silver lining. One of the cloud in this situation is the internet cloud. Laura Haug had already completed training for her internship at a St. Louis area marketing agency. Her tasks were office-based.
A week into working at the office, they said, well, we're all going remotely now, including you, Laura. So I went to the remote setting. And at first it was kind of rocky in the sense of me trying to understand what my levels of responsibility were. My skill set had not been presented yet to a lot of my coworkers because I really didn't have time to meet with them. And so there was kind of a moment where I would just reach out to people and say, hey, I can do this. You need help with this. And then that's how I began to navigate through that. Let me know what you need and I'll figure out a way to do it. And that is really how it began.
What did she do? She took the initiative. She reached out. She didn't wait for a supervisor's direction. She worked with her colleagues to create her own. And they extended her internship beyond the one semester, allowing her to stretch her skill set, make deeper connections, and build her resume. This summer, Wangui Gathungu was looking ahead to her December 2020 graduation. She wanted to get some internship experience on her resume before hitting the job market. She couldn't find the internship she wanted to apply for in the St. Louis area, when she realized that working remotely meant exactly that. She should think more remote.
Everything is pretty much remote and virtual at this point. So I'm just like, it's probably not even going to be that hard. But let me just see what's out there. So I just started looking in general at major cities that were offering virtual remote internships that were 100% remote and 100% virtual, because I don't need my supervisor emailing me, hey, come to the office, and my internship's in Chicago.
She applied and opened opportunities for herself in other cities. Now she's got 2 internships in Houston. As a student athlete, Michael Brothers suddenly had a lot more time on his hands than usual, but he reached out to someone he knows who works in his field, deciding to turn the downtime into a positive.
As a supply chain major, learning about his operations was very interesting and tied closely to my studies. So when I called offering help, they were very ecstatic. This company works for Amazon and they distribute a lot of products, so they were very busy during this time with everybody doing online shopping. I also called up to my internship at Alios that I recently accepted and asked them if I was able to move up my start date from the beginning of June to the beginning of May. thankfully they allowed me to do so, and I was able to get a head start on that and gain more of that experience.
UMSL students can succeed virtually anywhere. That's a consistent pattern that I have been able to see, because most of the time I'm in virtual classes. And so you meet a variety of people with different backgrounds, of all different ages, of all different walks of life. And that was something that I was particularly drawn to when I first joined UMSL. There was just so much diversity and diverse thinking and all these different people that you could connect with. Just that environment, it's definitely an environment for growth.
UMSL students succeed virtually anywhere.